Greetings, Health Champion. It is a beautiful Thursday here in the ATL. I'm Dr. Babs, your wellness strategist, here for our live recording. We're talking about lifestyle medicine and all the pillars. We are down to day 5. We have just one more pillar to discuss. I hope you've had a great week so far. It's Thursday. I'm sure you're planning for the weekend. So I'm really excited. I'm here to talk about social connections. So important to our everyday living. We're not, how do we call it? We're supposed to be connecting with others. We're social beings. We need to interact with one another. That's how we're created. We're not meant to be islands. So I'm super excited that if you're hearing, please let me know if you're watching live or replay and connect with others, all right, so that we can get this conversation started. I'm going to go ahead and just play a brief introduction about who I am, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So as I mentioned, I'm Dr. Babs, your wellness strategist. My goal is to help you live at your finest holistic health by empowering you to just flourish your mind, your body, your spirit through the principles of lifestyle medicine so that you can just show up being your best self, whole, healthy, and vibrant. So today, what are we talking about? Social connections. This is part of the pillars of lifestyle medicine. This is Lifestyle Medicine Week. So we're going to just look at these different categories. What's the meaning of social connections? I'm sure we already know that we're all social beings. That's the way we are made. So it doesn't matter whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, we all have an impact that we make on each other, and it really helps to promote our overall wellness. We're also going to talk about how we can make this happen, regardless of what personality you are. So very quickly, just want to emphasize, if you didn't already know that 50% increase in our longevity if we just are connected with our fellow human beings. It's been studied, it's been shown that our immune system is strengthened. I recall many years ago, I had an aunt, beautiful aunt. She was a twin, but things just went south for her. She was depressed and she just really couldn't get out of the depression. And unfortunately, we couldn't believe when we heard that she passed because her body just began to break down. There was no social connection. She just didn't want anyone to be around her. So this shows that we need to connect with one another, as you all can attest to what happened during COVID, right? A lot of people were socially distancing, but we very quickly realized that yes, we should be physically distanced from one another, but not socially, because we need each other's support. We need each other. So important that we understand this. We build our immune system because of the good hormones that we exhibit when we're with each other, right? So it's called meaningful interactions, positive interactions. The keynote is positive and meaningful. It's not every interaction that is meaningful. So we have to be very clear about that. It has to be meaningful. So our immune system recovers. Have you ever, you know what it feels like, the first hug after COVID, when you're able to hug people? A lot of people could not even shake hands. It was elbowing. But that first hug, all I was doing was hugging my own family, and I wanted to hug other people because there's what we call the oxytocin. That's the feel-good hormone. You have all the good hormones, and then the stress hormones go down. So meaningful. Now, furthermore, I want to emphasize that there is a deep sense of love and belonging, when you feel like you're part of a group, a part of a team. We all physically want to feel loved and to love others. So this is one of the pillars that we cannot take for granted. Now, in case you're wondering, okay, well, I have my family, I have my friends, I have my cousins, I have my colleagues. How else can I make those social connections? There are many opportunities. I've had, patients, especially as they get older, they don't just feel like nobody needs them anymore. But the moment you begin to feel that way, you have lost hope for life. And I've seen it happen time and time again in my family, with patients where they just don't want to live. They lose the hope for living. So I always encourage, find a local gym, whether it's a health center, a community center. Find a way to give back. Find a way to feel valuable. I mean, it might be selfish, but you're helping another person while you're helping yourself. And that's why I volunteer a lot, because it always makes me feel good about myself. It always makes me feel that, yes, I'm important. It might be selfish, but, it's a two-way street. Somebody's happy, I'm giving, no matter what it is. Yesterday when I was doing devotion with my family, we and it was our daily bread. It was a great story about a guy that made it a duty to always pay for a drink for the person right behind him, and did it for many years, never requesting anything in return. I guess he had his own gratification. He just felt happy that he was doing something for someone, and found out later that he saved somebody else from committing suicide, because the person he paid for, when they told him that the person ahead of you paid for you and said, have a good day, that changed his whole trajectory. He was planning to take his life. He felt nobody loved him, nobody cared for him, and that changed his life. So again, there's several ways that we can make ourselves feel that, yes, we have value. We can make a difference in somebody's life. So you can do it at, events. I love events because you get to meet with other people, especially, people of like mind. So whether it's a run, a walk, just participate in events. You might be doing that already. If you need to do more, enhance more, get your family involved, a partnership, all of that is just several opportunities to do that. Okay. Parks and all. Now, I do want to emphasize, though, that you decide that you want to do this, you want to make sure that you're very flexible, right? So flexible, you want to be supportive. Okay. You don't want to be judgmental. You want to try your best to be excited. So not that when you go and volunteer and you just feel like you feel all stocked up and you act as if, you're too good for people. You don't want that. So to strengthen social connections where it's meaningful for you and for the other person, you want to be very supportive. You want to share your experience and also listen to other people. Have you ever been to a place where people are just talking about themselves only and they don't give you an opportunity to talk? So you don't want to be that person. So to strengthen social connections, give other people the opportunity to speak, hear them. All of this helps to build that experience. Be present. Especially I know my kids always tell me, get off the phone. I'm talking to you. That's my 10-year-old telling me. So we got to be present to build those social connections. Be present, put things away, give your full attention. And then, of course, always lend a helping hand. Like I already mentioned, volunteer. The YMCA is my favorite place to volunteer. You give back to the community around you. They say, don't ask what my country can do for me, ask what I can do for my country. There's always such a blessing and a reward when that happens. The hand that gives, my mom always says, never lacks. The hand that gives never lacks. And again, it could be selfish, but you will be blessed. You will be rewarded. So important. Now, as we talk about social connections, as I begin to wrap up, I want to make sure that it's also very clear, because it could get tricky. Don't forget that there are times when your body needs rest. So it's not constantly volunteering all the time. Every time you say yes, 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 and you're pulled thin. Don't do that. All right. Don't give back, yes, but know when it's time for you to rest. Know when it's time for you to replenish. You can't fill out of an empty cup. Also, of course, volunteer in places where they're like-minded people. Like, say, like if you like to, if you like to run, then go to places where you have runners. Of course, again, I said be flexible, but don't go to people that are always negative, because that would just drain your energy. Don't go to people that are negative. Of course, you want to try your best to help other people, but be very careful to maintain your energy, and then don't compromise your standards. Okay, that that could also be very tricky. Now, in closing, I do want to just emphasize that this is a quote that I read that really resonated with me, that a true community is not just about the being geographically close to someone. You could, we learned that during the pandemic, you can go on Zoom and connect with people. You can take a phone. Who haven't you called in a while? Just say hello and see the joy that radiates in your heart and in their minds. So we definitely need to stay connected, and humanity is our ultimate community, and everyone plays a role. We all play a role. Everyone, no matter how young, no matter how old, we all play a role. For our elders, let's reach out to them. Let's tell them we love them. When you tell somebody you love them, and you give them a hug and you give them a smile, I promise you, it does magic. And I'm sure you already know this. So I just really want to emphasize the importance. So the call to action tonight, in case it's night in your area where it is in mine, what are you going to do? Is there somebody you haven't called in a while? Remember that social connections, positive social connections, can prolong our life. I shared with you an example, real life example of my aunt that just went downhill because she wasn't connecting with people. She just isolated herself. There's several stories you've heard about that. So let us connect with one another. Let us love on one another. It might start off being selfish, but you will get the oxytocin, which is a feel-good hormone. You will get the dopamine, all those serotonin, all those good hormones that would get rid of the stress. You definitely have that. So thank you so much for listening in. I thank you for the stars and the likes. I appreciate all of that. If you have questions, please, put them in the chat box. Share this with others so that we can all get healthier together. The goal is to be whole, to be healthy, and to be vibrant. You deserve to live at your finest because you're worth it. So thank you again for listening and watching. God bless. Take care.